Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at the DX King Sword from Ultraman Jeed. This is the newest weapon slash transformation device for Jeed. Transforms him into his Royal Mega Master Mode, which is pictured over here on the side as you can see. It is a combination with the Ultraman King capsule, which you can see is also included in this set, pictured right here on the box. There is some functionality with some other capsules that we'll take a look at, as well as the Jeed Riser, which we'll get to as the video goes on. Pretty cool little picture there on the front, or the top. Bottom, same kind of similar thing. That's going to be probably impossible to show you the sides here, but because this is a very long box, so I apologize for the bad lighting there. But if we take a look at the back, just kind of shows you all the functionality with the toy, and then it shows the other capsules that you can use to get unique sounds. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these just came out, and I don't have them yet. I do have Ultraman and 7, obviously, but Taro and Jack and Ace and Zophie. I think they just came out in the most recent capsule set, and I just haven't been able to track them down and get a hold of them yet. So when I do get those, I will bring this back, and in the review of those capsules, I'll show their sounds with the King Sword. But for today, we'll do as much as I can with what I have. So let's get this guy out of the box and take a closer look. Alright, so out of the box, this is everything you get. The King Sword itself, as well as the Ultraman King capsule. Taking a quick look at this. Very colorful. I like this one a lot. You can see when you slide this up, you get the ball of energy. Also very colorful. Pretty cool. Not really anything going on the back. And then the pin system on the bottom. Finally, our questions have been answered. The pin system all along was for the King Sword, and I'll show how that works off in 1 minute here. But yeah, very cool. Really like this capsule a lot. I'm putting it off to the side for a moment so we can take a look at the King Sword itself. Pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's a small sword, but that's kind of normal for Japanese roleplay weapons, usually fairly small as far as the length of the blade. But the cool thing about this is you can either use it as a sword, like this, which, you know, my fingers very barely fit in here. 3 fingers kind of fit. Pretty small, even by Japanese roleplay toy standards. I feel like that's kind of small. But you can also hold it as a staff. And you can see it has a trigger on both sides. When you press this down, that one goes down, and when you press this down, that one goes down, because they do the same function. So if you want to hold it as a staff like this, or if you want to hold it like a sword, you can use it either way, and I think that's pretty cool. Really nice LED here on the front. Really nice paint. I love the gold and the purple and the red metallic paint. Silver all looks great. Speaker is here on the back. On and off switch is right there. Does take 3 AAA batteries. They go here in the blade of the sword. You kind of just take this whole cover off. It's kind of funny, when I was loading them in, it really reminded me of the Zunder Thunder from Kyoryuger. I was putting in the 3 batteries in a line, and then I slammed this in. No lightning, though. Still waiting for that. Here is the release button for the capsules. You load them in right here. And it'll kind of be hard to see. I'll try to shine some light in there, but there's a little, like, nub right there, and that's for the channel on the back of the capsules, and then it just pops in there, and the pin system's all the way at the bottom. So very cool. This thing's pretty neat. I'll go ahead and turn it on. So there you go. You get Riku's voice shouting King Sword. Very cool. I like that so much I'm going to do it again. So very fun. Now at this point, you can press either trigger. It does the same thing. So it's just going to alternate between those 2 sounds. When you don't have any capsule or anything loaded in here, that's all you can do. If you hold this down, it doesn't do anything. The passover function does not activate anything. So if you have no capsule loaded, it's just those 2 sword sounds. So if we go ahead and we take the King capsule and we load him in, so at this point, if we hit the trigger, it doesn't do anything. What it's waiting for us to do is the pass. You wave your hand over, And now it's ready for you to hit the trigger. So we have transformed into his newest form, Royal Mega Master. At this point, if you hit the trigger, just back to those same two sword sounds. But what you can do if you hold the trigger down, that'll activate this again where it's waiting for us to pass our hand over it. And the little sensor is right here. So he says 1, hit the button. So that is the first attack. If we hold the button down again. Now this time we pass over twice. You can see the LED changed color. And then we'll hold the button down once again. And this time pass 3 times. And you can see the LEDs going crazy. So those are the 3 attacks. Again, if you hit the trigger, you're back to those 2 sounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off. So that's pretty much what you can do with just what comes in the box. You get the 2 sword sounds, you get the transformation jingle, you get the 3 different attacks with the passover. So that's pretty cool. Come back here, release that, and there you go. But that's not all that the toy can do. It's just all you can do with these 2 things. So let's see what else we can do. Alright, so we're going to take this and we're going to load in Ultraman Belial. Oops. And Ultraman King. We're going to make sure our G-Drizer's on. We scan again. So you get that. Not super thrilling, but neat. I'm going to go ahead and take Ultraman King out. I'm going to bring the King Sword back in and turn it on. I'm going to pop this in to transform. So now you're transformed again, and now you can see this little second sensor up here. You're going to want to run the G-Drizer over that. So there you go. You get kind of the same attack as if you scanned the two separately. So not a ton of functionality with the G-Riser, but there is a little bit, and it's kind of fun. So the King Sword does have a reader in here. The pin system can differentiate some of the Ultraman capsules. As you can see, some of these have different pin systems. Now, a majority of the Ultraman capsules have the same, and that's because for anything that's not one of the like 6 different ones, it's a generic hero sound, and then there's a generic sound for all Kaiju capsules. It can read Ultraman and 7, which I have here. It can also read Jack, Ace, Taro, and Zophie. Now, unfortunately, those 4, I think, are in a capsule wave that recently came out, and I just haven't been able to get a hold of them yet. When I do get them, and I review those, I'll bring the King Sword back, and we'll hear those sounds at that time. But for right now, I can do Ultraman and 7, so make sure this is turned on. It is. We'll go ahead and pop in Ultraman. So again, the trigger does nothing until you pass over. So with the Ultraman capsules that are not King, obviously, you plug it in, you get the, waiting for you to pass the hand over, then you hit the button for the attack sound, but that's it. If I were to hold this down and try to pass over multiple times, it's always the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. So they have one special attack sound with these capsules. They don't have the ability to wave it 3 different times and get 3 different attack sounds. It's just plug it in, wave once, get the attack sound. So I'm going to put him off to the side. We'll pop in 7. So I'm going to assume that said Slug or Spark, but I got to be honest with you, the first time I put this in there, it's not what I thought it said. And I just want to demonstrate that again, it's just the 2 generic sounds. So when you plug in the Ultraman capsules, you just wave it 1 time and you get 1 attack sound for each. If you use one that's not one of those like 6 that I listed, like just use a generic Ultraman capsule, it'll say Ultra Hero. So if it's not one of the special predetermined ones, you just get Hero Attack. And if it's a Kaiju capsule, I do kind of love the way it says Ultra Monster though. So not bad. So if you basically have any of the generic ones, you get either Hero Attack or Monster Attack, and then you get special sounds for the ones that it knows. And like I said, I apologize I don't have the others yet, but I will give you the sounds when I review those. So it's pretty cool. I like that it has a reader. I think that gives a lot more functionality. It would be cool if it had sounds for every different Ultraman, but I think at some point, that's kind of a lot to ask, I think. For a reasonable amount of sounds, this thing does a pretty good job. Now, I don't know of any combinations with King, but I can at least show you what King can do on his own in here. So it's not like the other Ultraman capsules where it'll say his name, and then if you do it a second time, it'll say an attack. It only says that one phrase when you scan this guy. So I think this one's a lot of fun. You have the reader in there, so you get a lot of individual sounds based on the capsules you've collected over the line. The LED's a lot of fun. The paint and the detail on the sword itself are really fun. Yeah, overall, I think it's a good buy. As far as I know right now, this is the only way to get the King capsule. So if you're looking for that, this is definitely the only way to get that right now that I know of. I don't know if it'll be in a future capsule or candy toy release. I guess it's possible. If I remember correctly, this thing comes in at around $40 before shipping, something like that, 35 to 40. So, I mean, maybe wait for a sale if you really don't need it right away. I could understand that, but I think it's fun. I really do. I think it's neat. Like I said, all the things, the LED, the sounds. I appreciate that it has the reader. Yeah, I feel like there's a decent amount of playability with this thing. Sure, I'd love it to be a little bit bigger, to have the blade a little bit longer, but I get it. I understand why it is the way it is. And, yeah, I don't really have too much to complain about this guy. I think it's a lot of fun. And when I get those extra capsules, I'll have even more sounds I can get out of this, so there'll be even more playability if I can just get a couple more capsules. So it's always one of those situations where the more you buy and collect, the more playability you get out of these toys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you. Please like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video on the DX King Sword from Ultraman Geed. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.